Use the remainder theorem and synthetic division to evaluate the function at the given value. So here we have f of x equals negative x to the fifth minus 9x to the fourth minus 6x cubed plus 7x squared plus 8x plus 7. We're supposed to evaluate f of 2, and I certainly could just take 2, plug it into this polynomial to get an answer. But what the remainder theorem says is that if you take that number, and in this case, you don't have to make it a negative because it is a 0. You're saying x is equal to 2, as opposed to a factor, which would be x minus 2. So the difference between something solved for x and something that has the form x plus or minus a constant is the difference here. Now, if we use that value and perform synthetic division against the coefficients of the polynomial in the numerator, just jot them down very quickly here. We'll go through these coefficients, and if we bring the negative down, the first item just comes straight down, so negative 1 comes down. Multiply that against the value 2, then that gives me negative 2. If I add this column, I get negative 11. Negative 11 times 2 is negative 22. When I add this column, negative 22 minus 6 would be negative 28. When I multiply that against 2, the number seems to get larger and larger here, but we'll continue. It's going to be negative 56. And when I add those, I think we're going to get negative 49, but let me just double check because one small arithmetic error will throw the rest of them off. All right, yes, so negative 49. Multiply that against 2, that should be negative 98. I'll just double check that. Then, of course, when I add 8 to that, that gives me negative 90. Negative 90 times 2 is negative 180. When I add these together, that's negative 173. So there is the value f of 2. And if you want to be certain of that, you can plug this into the calculator as a polynomial. It's just a little less convenient to do so, but I'll show you how. So plugging in 2, we would have negative 2 to the fifth minus 9 times 2 to the fourth minus 6 times 2 to the third plus 7 times 2 squared plus 8 times 2 plus 7. And it's very easy to mistype something doing a long operation that way, but looks like I got it all correct because it came up with the same answer. And that's the point to the remainder theorem, is that you have a choice. You can use the polynomial division, synthetic division that is, and get your result that way. And it's usually a little bit easier. Oftentimes it doesn't even require a calculator.